In this video, we're going to be trying out the first ever Pecharunt team used on the SVOU ladder. What's up guys, how you doing? It's your boy Lax, and today, as I mentioned, we are going to be trying out the OG Pecharunt team that the best player on this website, Vert aka Triple X, created. This team was made so long ago, but I think it still has a lot of promise. So obviously we got the star of the show, Pecharunt, and you can see that the EVs actually have a 301 speed, because back in the day, no one else was using Pecharunt. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make a little bit of changes. I'm going to make it Shadow Ball Petch. I'm going to make it max speed for speed tying other Petches potentially. We also have Darkrai. It used to be Thunder Wave over Will-O-Wisp, but I'm going for a Wisp set because I think that's a little bit more useful utility in the common meta. It has a Life Orb Clefable with Calm Mind, something that's really never ever used, and it's got a decent amount of speed stat. Originally, the speed was to benefit off of the Darkrai Thunder Wave, so we actually can lower this a bit. I think I'm just gonna try to power creep like a Corv or something like that. So I think some spread, something similar to this is probably fine. You got the trusty AV Samurott. This is a pretty offensive spread. I'm just gonna lower the attack quite a bit and add a decent amount of Spadef in, because nowadays you prefer having the bulk over having the actual offensive prowess, but you know, it's still a pretty good mon. And I'm gonna make a Terra Poison to deal with something like an Iron Moth a little bit better. Got a very standard Landorus. You know how it is, he'd be doing Lando things. And then we have Raging Bolt with boots. Before, it used to be Roar to take advantage of all the spikes, but I think I'm gonna go for a Terra Blast set. I want to be a little stronger into Tinglu maybe, and this should have a pretty decent matchup into Hyper Offense. And I'm also gonna lower the speed all the way down. This is truly just personal preference how much speed your Raging Bolt has, but I like to just outspeed max speed King Gambit and leave it at that. Maybe creep a little beyond that. Just for the purposes of this team, I don't think you need more speed on Raging Bolt. But yeah, this is an incredibly classic team, one of my favorites of all time. I would hit such high peaks on the ladder with this team, so I'm really hoping that it's able to match up to today's standard. And I'm honestly thinking that there is potential for it, because it's 6 good Pokemon, right? Like, you can't really go too wrong with it. But yeah, we have our first game, and it looks like we're facing against Hail Veil, which actually is really scary. This team wasn't used when Deoxys speed was very common, so we're gonna see if we can manage that. All right, let's go ahead and start the timer. So leading into Ninetales, I kind of want to just lead Samurott and get some spikes up. I think that might be my best option. Luckily, we do have Petch into Blaziken. As long as it's not the Focus Energy Overheat set, I think we should be fine. But even if it is that, we do have Raging Bolt, which should be able to eat a hit with a lot of HP investment in boots. They decide to lead Deoxys speed. We should be able to eat anything from this except like a Choice Band superpower, so I think I'm fine to trade for this. This is actually a wonderful trade, actually, if we connect the Ceaseless Edge, which we do. Very awesome. That is quite literally a perfect turn one for us, and I think I'm just going to get another spike up. They go for Freeze Drive, but we actually eat that. Oh, oh, oh my god. Oh my god, heart attack. Heart attack in one turn. What just happened? But we're just going to get our third spike up, or they knock us out, and we're totally fine in the case that they knock us out. Because we can actually just bring in Darkrai and maybe threaten them that we have Sludge Bomb. Obviously, we don't, though. Oh, their alternative is just to go Petch. Alright, so we get up this final layer, which is great for us. And now we can mess around a little bit, I think. Like, mess around is in, we can pivot around this Ninetales to burn some of these Aurora Veil turns, and also keep a sack in Samurott. So, for example, I can just go Clef here. And then I can just click Moonblast. And they're probably going to switch out, but something is going to take this Life Orb Moonblast. And it's not going to be too great. Something we do have to keep in mind, though, is that Gliscor. Double Dance Gliscor might actually be ahead of its time for this meta. And maybe that's why it's worth keeping Roar on Raging Bolt. So, you know what? I'm actually going to keep it. It's pretty helpful against Cheese, because we're really not looking good into Gliscor. Alright, Blaziken comes in, floating with a balloon, so it doesn't take the spikes, which is pretty good for them. Here we can just go for a Moonblast. Moonblast is going to do quite a bit. Now they're going to go for Flare Blitz. We can sack Samurott here. Yep. And then we're going to bring Lando in versus Blaziken. Here I'm actually going to click Stealth Rock because I think limiting that Ninetales is more important. And also this Blaziken is practically going to knock itself out. It actually did knock itself out. So getting up rocks there really helps put the pressure on this Ninetales to not be able to get screens back up, which is really, really important for us. I'm not sure what they're going to go here, actually. They could go Ninetales, and that would basically get them screens guaranteed back up. Because they would freeze dry us, knock us out. We'd have to bring something else in, which would take quite a bit of damage, but I guess we could go Darkrai. We'll see. Keeping Landorus is pretty nice into King Gambit, just to get that taunt off and that, what's it called? That Stealth Rock off. Or not, sorry. Just to get the taunt and the Helm off with Intimidate to kind of limit how much it can do. Okay, so Gliscor is actually their choice here. I'm assuming we're going to be faster, so I don't mind just taunting this. Because we can really annoy this Gliscor that's going to try to set up all over us, yep. And here I'm actually going to U-turn into Pecharunt, and then I'm going to Parting Shot back into Lando. And we're really going to troll this thing. Okay, they go for a nice Earthquake. Respect that. Do they click Facade here is the question though, right? Nope. Alright, now we can taunt. Okay, they go for Swords Dance again. I'm just gonna troll with Pech even more. Or I could just U-turn into Darkrai. U-turn into Darkrai actually I think is the best. Because this -2 attack Gliscor is really gonna not be able to touch us at all. Yeah, it's 20%. This Gliscor is still scary though, I will say. Because it can switch out and then just try to set up again later. Okay, Ninetales is going to be sacked here because it's not going to be able to eat this Ice Beam. Maybe I should click Dark Pulse to maybe feign being Scarfed or something like that. Okay, they go King Gambit here. We're going to go for a Will-O-Wisp. Hopefully we connect it. We do. They aren't Lumberry, which is great. I think here we just Raging. Kind of tricky though, because we want to position accordingly. I could also just knock off, but I'm still really scared of this Gliscor going absolutely bananas on me. We could try to set Clefable up if they go for another Iron Head. So I'll knock off these lefties. If they go for Swords Dance, okay, that's the correct play. Here we are going to have to sack Lando. We have Draco, which is not great. But we'll sack Lando because we have to. I'm going to assume Gliscor actually dies to Terra Blast into Draco. So I think in this case we just have to connect the Draco. And Thunderclap should always knock it out here. There's like no King Gambit on Earth that can live this Thunderclap. So we can just go for that. Yep. Alright, Gliscor's about to come back in. We're going to be forced to Terra here. Hopefully Terra Blast can 2-hit KO, but I'm really thinking we might need to Drake. Okay, they go for Agility, which means +2 Facade is not going to be able to kill us. Okay. That Terra Blast does 51. Do we trust it or do we Draco? I think we have to Draco, because that could very well be a roll. Okay, they go for... Awesome. Okay, they go for Earthquake anyways instead of Swords Dance. Now we click Volt here. Is there any chance they're Terra Steel? Surely not, right? No, it's gotta be Terra Water. So we're gonna go Pech here. And we're going to go for Malignant. Okay, awesome. Yeah, they're definitely not some kind of Terra. But the fact that they don't Terra at all is very weird to me. But yeah, that's a great game one. It was actually a really, really bad matchup. We're not well equipped for hail with this team, but we'll definitely take the win. See you for the next. All right, we have our next game versus Sea Flora using what looks to be a very typical hyper offense. Kyurem is also pretty tough. I think about it. Specs Kyurem would blow us away. But I think we'll just lead Darkrai. No, it might be Samu. This is tough. Kyurem lead would actually destroy us, genuinely. But I think, okay, I think we have to lead Clef. Clef handles Kyurem and Samurott. It's not my best lead into Samurott, but it will have to suffice. This team actually might have been made while Kyurem was banned, now that I think about it. So I'm actually going to change this back to Terra Blast to snipe Kyurem. Yeah, I definitely think this team was made before, or while Kyurem was banned. Or was Kyurem ever banned? Am I crazy? I don't know. Okay, Kyurem was in fact banned at one point. I remember now, there was a ban and then it came out that somebody rigged the test by having like 50 accounts. Okay, that's an exaggeration. Maybe like 10 accounts that voted for them. But anyways, our opponent did click their turn 1. We're just going to go for a Moonblast here. That Ceaseless did quite a lot. Obviously, it is max attack. And then I think we'll... Yeah, I think we just have to Moonblast. Which sucks, because we got terrible mileage out of our Clef here. But what can you do about that? Okay, they go for Knock instead of the chip on us, which is pretty good for us, honestly. Alright, let's see what comes out next. I assume it has to be Iron Moth. I'm hoping it's DD Kyurem. I think DD Kyurem would be a lot more manageable than Special. And I guess it doesn't really look like it's Special here. Moth coming in is kind of tough too, though. Okay, they actually go Gambit. I'm happy to trade a Flamethrower into this. Okay, that reveals max speed Gambit, which is good to know. Here we're gonna Lando, and we're just gonna get rocks up. Like, rocks are pretty awesome for us. And here's the moment of truth. Is it Special Kyurem or not? AK, will it just win on the spot or not? Okay, it clicked Freeze Dry. Oh. Okay. Well, we're gonna try to thaw in Malignant Chain because we should eat this Earth Power. That looks like it is physical. Yeah, it is physical because the Freeze Dry did so little to us. So if we thaw here, it would be awesome. Oh, it's not the case. Now Earth Power should definitely just take us out. Yeah, but we can't really do much about that. Here I have to Terra Raging Bolt, I'm pretty sure. Which might put us very behind, but... Oh, wait. I forgot we're not Terra Blast, because I just changed it back. But we're just going to have to Terra Drake. Which is not great, because the Spear is going to do a lot of damage to loaded dice. Okay, we do connect Drake, though, which is great. Okay, that Moth is looking really scary. If it's like Terra Fairy and it gets all the Fiery Dance boost, we might be cooked, guys. We might be cooked. That Valiant also looks really scary. Like, we have to keep Raging Bull HP for sure. Here, I'm going to hard Darkrai. I don't want to take chip on my Bolt. I have to go for Earthquake. Now we're just going to go for Ice Beam. Shouldn't be Scarf Lando. You kind of need the Helm on this kind of team. Yeah, Kyurem is such a big threat, huh? I might have to make Clef, like, leftovers. Just to have, like, a slightly better switch in into Kyurem. Okay, they go King Gambit here. It doesn't reveal an item, which means it probably is some kind of Lumberry, perhaps. Or Black Glasses. They go for Sucker Punch, though. That's good for us. We can just U-turn here. I mean, we don't lose anything by Earthquaking, I'll be honest. Yeah, let's just Earthquake. Like, obviously it didn't work out because they went Lando, but if they stayed in and clicked Swords Dance, it could get ugly. But now I can just U-turn. They go for Stone Edge. Oh, they got a crit on us, so we're taking Helm plus crit? Okay. That's really bad. It's a lot of damage taken, but here we're just gonna Dark Pulse, I guess. Yeah, Dark Pulse for the extra damage with Gambit. I don't know how we're gonna win this, guys. Because we're gonna take a lot of damage here. Lando does go. We have to Samurai. We have to try to get its spikes up. But we're just so weak to Valiant and Iron Moth right now. Yeah, I don't think we can win this. That crit putting Lando into range of Iron Head is really tough for us, because having that extra sack would have been quite nice. Okay. I think we go for another spike. Probably not, though. Let's just Stalker. Yeah. Yeah, this looks really bad. I'm not sure what we can do here. Okay, Lando comes in. I think we just go for the Razor Shell trade. No, we just lose to Iron Moth, huh? But there's nothing we can do about it. We have to, like, Thunderclap crit Iron Moth. There's no other way. Okay, Bull. Valiant is in. We could also bank on them not being Sludge Wave. Nah, it's not even a roll to kill Valiant here. We have to Roar here. And then we have to hope Moth isn't Speed Booster for some reason. It is. Now we have to Thunderclap, crit, and pray. But they're Terra Ground anyway, so we weren't winning this matchup. Damn, this was really tough. But we'll move on to the next game. We'll say GG. Alright, I did make some changes to the team. I made it AV Landorus. And then I made it Rocky Helm Roxclef. I think this might be a better balance to having multiple special answers. Lets me Terra versus Curiums too. We unfortunately are playing the same matchup again, which I don't love because it's not, I feel like it's not very exciting, but it is what it is. Alright, this time it's a Samurott lead into Hatterene, but once again, I would like to get all my spikes up. So I'm just going to go for a Ceaseless. Draining Kiss should trade well into us. Okay, they go for Combine instantly. So I'm gonna hard Petch here and go for a Malignant. This hat is actually pretty scary as a lead. Go for Nuzzle. Okay, that's fine. We're gonna click Malignant, and we're hopefully not gonna get paralyzed. And a Poison would be great. We don't need the Confusion, self-hit, but a Poison would really save us here. And then we can bring Lando in immediately after. Okay. Okay. We're just gonna have to Lando and hope we're able to trade into this. I don't see us winning this one though, based off how this is gone already. Because yeah, they just Drain Kiss for 1,000,000 damage, and we're just taking a complete negative trade here. Yeah, that para really sucks. And that crit too. I'm pretty sure Petch lives if it's not max special. But they go for Kiss again instead of getting the full damage off on us. So EQ should knock this out now. It's kind of tricky. If we can snipe Gliscor with Terra Ice Blast somehow, then I see a world, but outside of that, not really. Alright, threat averted after doing a lot to us, of course. My Secret Sword, this should be knockoff. Alright, Tails is in. I'm gonna go Clef and I'm gonna rock up. Okay. It should probably Encore us, but it's fine. No, I guess they will Encore. I'll go Darkrai then. Don't have many freeze dry switch-ins on this team. Okay, they actually go Blaziken. I'm just gonna click Dark Pulse and then we're gonna sack Clef, I think. Go for SD. Now we're gonna go Clef. They go for SD again. A little bit greedy, but I guess it works. Oh, because they're acrobatics. Okay, I guess that's a cool set. Yeah, I mean, this game really was just determined by that earlier circumstance that we can't do anything about. We'll just try to Terra on the close combat. I mean, it's very free for them to just blitz us. And literally, what can we do about that? Nothing. I guess that means Thunderclap is optimal because it gives us a crit chance. Yeah, I mean, they just go for acrobatics. And they have upper hand, apparently. I mean, literally, what can you do, right? Like, this is painful. Like, a single paralysis is just enough. I guess I'll just ceaseless here. Very nice play, upper handing. Maybe I should have gone Samra first instead of sacking the rest of my team, because they obviously didn't respect that whatsoever. Let's just fish some Dark Pulse lunges. There's no way to win this game anyways. Unless they just Giga Choke. Like, what are they doing right now? Can we get a flinch or something? That'd be pretty crazy. No can do. Yeah, they really, really didn't need to set that up there. But we'll move on to the next game. Let me know in the comments if you like these kind of going through old metas and seeing how viable they still are. Obviously, my rank doesn't really appreciate it, but I feel like it's pretty interesting to give respect to the best teams of the old, like the older times, which, you know, is crazy to say because it hasn't even been that long. This person has a really cool team, though. Looks like something I would use. Looks like a pretty decent Darkrai lead here, though. Okay, they're just going to lead Superior. And they're going to click Glare, because that's what Superior would be doing. But we're just going to hard Raging Bolt, not mess around with any of that. We could also hard Petch, which I actually don't think is a bad play. Because, like, maybe Bolt's HP is a little more important, right? Nah, I don't mind Bolt here. Yeah, because they go for Glare. Like, Superior players will always just instantly Glare. It's kind of wired into their coding as a person. But that Drake is doing some nice damage. We're just going to double Drake. Okay. So they revealed that they are actually Synthesis. We get a very nice crit though, which lets us go Darkrai and Ice Beam. And this should kill unless they Terra. And if they Terra, that's Terra Exhaust. We don't have to worry about our other guys. Dogi comes in. Looks like AV. So AV means that Pecharunt walls Dogi forever. Oh, well, unless we get frozen, which could happen. We'll just spam Shadow Ball here. Looks like they are very much fishing for the freeze. Clicks Glare turn 1. Spamming Ice Punch. It really tells you a lot, I think, about your expectations for this player. But we'll Parting Shot here to Clef, and we'll get our rocks up. As they get their rocks up, I assume. Yep. Dogi back in, but, you know, every time Dogi's in, it's a free switch into Petch. Okay. Sure. We'll just Parting Shot into Clef and get rocks back up. Helm means that if they spin, it is a positive trade versus for us. Yeah, I think they suddenly just realized that's not what they want to do. Okay, the Serp is back in, and it's pretty annoying But we're just gonna Raging Bolt. This should force a Synthesis from them, or they just let Serp go, which I'm fine with. Luckily we do connect, and it drops. Great Tusk is back in. This is a pretty free just Clef again. Like, they're gonna spam spin. We can actually Moonlight here, I guess. Well, yeah, because they could Headlong us, but that does seem pretty unlikely. Yeah. I'm kind of down to Moonblast, but I think they're going to stay in here. Okay, they go Tusk. Just fine by me. I might actually be willing to Terra this Petch. Because it actually is an offensive threat to them right now. You can Shadow Ball here. And nothing wants to take this. And Terra Petch also is a better answer into Dragonite, which they realize and they're going for the sack. Red card Dragonite is very interesting. But we'll just spam Moonblast, I guess. Yeah, that is very interesting. It's a Tank Knight, and it has Thunder Wave red card. Okay. I think I'm gonna hard Dark right here. Like, we're forced to Terra on this. Or they have to swap out. Okay, or they sack it. That's fine too. Valiant does come in, and I don't really want this to get a free setup, so I'm going to click Ice Beam as such. Here we can just hard Clef, I think. They go for Swords Dance. I wonder if they have Poison Jab or something. They don't, so if we don't get paralyzed, we should be completely fine in this endgame. Which we not. Awesome. Wonder what they go for now. It's a pretty cool team though. Like, how viable is it? I'm not sure, but it's got some cool sets here. You know I love a Tank Knight. And the one nice thing about Terra Petch and why I did it is because you can do this. You can switch into Tusk for life, and it's awesome. I'm gonna sack Clef here. It's Hex. Okay, so they're a Paraspam team. I'm just gonna go my AV Lando. We eat any hit for free, and Earthquake will do a lot. They go for Terra Flying. Nasty Plot Hex, okay. I actually have Stone Edge, which should 2 KO. Okay, I kind of see the vision. You have a lot of Paraspam with Serp and Dragonite, so Nasty Plot Hex is actually really, really strong. So it's actually a pretty cool team idea. I might save this replay to have a reference later, because it actually seems pretty viable. Serp glaring every single thing, and then you have a Nasty Plot Hex Gold in the back. That actually seems pretty cool. And they were high rank ladder, so it seems like a pretty consistent thing. I'll save that replay and we'll go on to our next game. The legend of skiing in Japan continues. Every single video without fail, we managed to face these guys. My god. Like, it's just funny at this point. Like, what is going on? But we're gonna lead Darkrai because it looks pretty good. Alright, Dragapult is the lead of choice. I think I'm just gonna go for a knockoff here. Because if Pult stays in, it's gonna click U-turn. Oh, it's Terra Fight and it's faster than us. Now that is fascinating. Okay. I'm gonna go Clef here, and I guess I'll try to Rocks up. I don't know if they would go Hat here though. I guess Helm reveals that they can go Hat here, which is fair. Wow, Terra Fight slow Dragapult. That is very, very interesting, but it is obviously gonna be pretty good into us after that. We're just gonna knock this AV off. Okay. And then I'll just Moonblast. We'll trade for our life for this. Okay, well that... I'm so tired of being haxed. Can we chill on that? Alright, I'm just gonna sack it. Whatever. Yeah, I don't think we can win this based off that turn 1. That was a pretty crazy snipe, but we'll try our best still. We'll see what happens. Maybe Raging Bolt can pull something absolutely insane out. This Chomp is going to be Tank Chomp, though. Like, it's a very obvious Tank Chomp AV hat setup. I think I'm just going to get them all up. Or try to. Alright, and then maybe we can try to keep our sack here. By going Lando. Yeah, we keep it pretty low. Raging Bolt does get brought in, which we don't want, so hopefully they don't tail again. Alright, we'll trade Lando for that. I mean, honestly, Bolt maybe can do it with Pech. Like, that's not even that insane to think about. We'll just go Pech here. They go for knockoff, which makes sense. We're going to try to recover. It could be Encore, though, which would be great for them. Okay. Okay, Iron Moth does come in. We're going to parting shot on this. Okay, they do get the special attack boost, which I'm really not a fan of. It does force Orlando to basically die here, so we can't even keep the Intimidate. But I do see a world that Bolt can pull it out. We'll see, because we eat this being AV. Now Darkrai's in. Samra is the more valuable keep because it has Sucker Punch and it doesn't die. I don't think it's winnable, but it might be. I'm going to go Bolt here and we're going to Terra Fairy Blast. Hopefully they just sack Darkrai here, because Darkrai is the bigger threat if it does have a Sludge Bomb or something like that. Okay, they go for a knock on our boots. Very interesting. I think Bolt can do it. I'm not even gonna lie. I think Bolt can do it. But it comes down to how well we can take this Ogerpon hit versus the Dragon Bolt 2. Okay, Ogerpon is in now. Knockoff U-turn, no spikes, so either Encore or Synthesis. Huh. I think we just Drake here. Please kill. Yes! Okay. And then Dragapult I don't think has a way to kill us. But I have no idea. Alright, let's see. Let's Cow Cat. Did I hit this hat with any special moves? I hit it with Moonblast, right? Moonblast did 29. So that kind of indicates to me that it has some investment into it. Without the AV. Yeah. Okay. Okay. If -2 Fairy Blast kills Hat here, which I think it should, I think we win. Yes, okay, okay. Now we just have to not get crit by Shadow Ball or whatever this Dragon Bolt's gonna click. Come on. Yes! Oh my god! Yes, we end on a dub ski, and it's versus the classic skiing in Japan that we face so many different times. And we managed to position off of a dreadful, dreadful matchup. If you guys enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe off that. We played this so well after the disastrous early turns, and we'll absolutely take this. Shoutouts to you guys, shoutouts to all my members. I do it for all y'all, and of course I do it for every single viewer on this channel. Much love and much appreciated. Without you guys, I wouldn't be still on the YouTube grind, but I love uploading daily, so if you appreciate it as well, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you appreciate even more, become a member, and I will catch you tomorrow.